people, how are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're keeping good. My name is Ola and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome, and if you're also a returning subscriber, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I also turn the notification post on, so when I have a new video, you probably will not miss out on any of my lovely videos. Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about something very exciting, something different, something really like. Okay, so today's video, if you've not guessed by the thumbnail of today's video already, I am going to be talking to you about basically the things you pay for in the UK. Yeah, the things people never tell you that you paid for, like Nigerian living abroad, how much it actually cost, you know, while living here. So yeah, it's like basically like in the UK. So this video is going to be telling you about things you paid for or living abroad and how much it actually costs living in the UK. So I've got like a few of my notes on this side, so I'm just basically trying to run through it, and I really do not like going overboard when I'm making my points, so I'm just going to quickly get that out before any other thing. So my expectation versus my not expectation, like living in the UK. So if you're new to my channel, I basically talk about lifestyle, beauty, air, food, fashion, you can name it all. So I'm certainly sure that you're always going to find something you would enjoy in my channel. And yeah, so without any further ado, let's just jump into the video. So what are the things you actually pay for in the UK? Like, nothing is free in this country. It's ridiculous. You literally pay for every single thing. The only thing they don't charge you for in this country is air, the air you breathe. But every other thing, you basically pay for every single thing. So I'm going to start off with the first important thing that you pay for while living in the UK, and this is mandatory. So whether you like it or not, somehow you're going to be doing it. So my top number one of things you pay for in the UK, without any doubt, is rent. It's either you're paying a rent or you have a mortgage. And while my research, I noticed that most properties here, it's expensive, but it's not expensive. It depends on how much income you have as well. So when I say it's expensive, it's not expensive. You have to do the math based on your income. So it's either you're renting, and let's just put the rent range between £400 to £600. You're not going to pay around more than that, but again, it depends on your location. But let's just assume we're paying between £400 and £600. Bearing in mind, also have a calculator on the side so that we can work this mathematics out together. And then you see if you're going to have any leftover or savings after this. You know, and then when people in Nigeria, they'll be like, oh, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. If I was there, I would have done this. No, you wouldn't, because it's sometimes nice to kind of know that people's expectation versus not their expectation is totally different. And this is the way it works. So when you're here, you're either paying for a mortgage or a rent. So like I said, your rent is usually within £400 to £600. And if you're also on a mortgage, the price range may vary depending on the kind of mortgage you're on, whether it's fixed or variable. So yeah, so number one, living in the UK, that you have to do, paying for rent. And like I said, the ranges of the rent you pay is between £400 and £600, depending on your location and depending on your income. So be very careful, disclaimer, that is what I'm emphasizing on, depending on your income and how much you're earning. So my number two, if you own a mortgage, you have to pay an insurance. God forbid, if anything happens, you need to insure yourself. So number two, if you definitely have a mortgage, even people that are renting nowadays as well are also insuring the properties, because they may get robbed. Anything can happen. You never know at any given time. Some people now are actually taking into account on actually insuring their rent properties. So yes, so that is number two. My number two is home insurance. So then number three, you gotta eat. you know how important food is. Can you actually go without eating? You can go with all this, every other stuff I've just mentioned, but food is a necessity. It's essential. It is mandatory. Man cannot do without eating now, yeah? So you got to eat. So now my number 3 is going to fall on food. My take about food, it's not expensive. Again, it depends on the size of your family. If you're just a single person, that's not too bad. But if you're a family person, then you have to know how much budget you basically pay for every week. If you're doing your shopping weekly, is it £20 or £40? And then add it. So I've mentioned rent between £400 to £600. Then insurance could cost you around, it depends on the kind of brokers you're looking for. Brokers tends to be more cheaper when you're doing insurance in comparison to banks. Brokers are like a kind of a middleman, third party person, depending on how you want to phrase it. So brokers are usually like a third party, people who go out there and look for the best prices for you in terms of your insurance. So brokers, to me, I feel like they are not as bad as literally walking into the bank and looking for a quote for your home insurance. So, and then the number 3 was, I said, food. Man cannot do without eating, like, you know how it is. So also, like I said, nothing in this country is free. You gotta pay for every single thing. It's actually like, it's interesting to note. So like when people are telling you they are doing 2 or 3 jobs, is deep. But again, sometimes you don't really have to, depending on the kind of a career line you are. And some people have like a set of plan for themselves, amount of money they need to make within, maybe some people like projects to themselves, or like, I'm going to make a certain amount of year between 6 months and a year, which is absolutely fine. Like, but don't overwork yourself as well, because it's going to reflect on you in terms of aging, you know. So my next one is cancel tax. You see this one, you got to pay it. You can do a little bit of research about it, but cancel tax, again, it depends on the kind of band you have, band A, band B, band C, band D. Whatever band you have, the council, whatever borough you're living in, will send you, yes, they'll send you how much you have to pay based on your income and based on your band as well. So cancel tax, you gotta pay cancel tax. Oh my God, all these things are expensive. And depending on how much bill you get from council or your borough, it's usually like between, sometimes they might bring you a council tax between 1,500 a whole year. So if you cut that into monthly, around £120. So are you adding it? Do you have your calculator right there? Are you adding everything? And then after council tax, what else do you pay for? You can't be living in a property without paying electricity bill. You have to pay electricity bill. This is a global thing. It's mandatory. You have to pay your bill. Nobody's going to pay your bill for you. You have to pay your bills. You got to pay your bills. So you pay your electricity bill and then your gas bill. Some people do it together and some people have it separately. Like myself, I do it separately. And with my own electricity bill, I literally like charge mine. I know how much I charge every weekly. And then with my gas, I have kind of like a direct debit. And again, bearing in mind with direct debit, you have to be extremely careful. You do not want the check bouncing back, and you do not want, because they're going to charge you each time they go into your account. If you have a direct debit and if they come into the account and there's no money in that account, it's going to affect your credit score if you want to borrow in the future, if you want to take out a loan. So all these sort of things, you have to take them into account, you know. So if you're making a direct debit out, always ensure that you have enough money in your account. The next bill, like I said, nothing is free, is water bill. You gotta pay water bill. In the UK, you gotta pay water bills. There's no escape to it. Like I said, the only thing you don't basically pay for here is the air you breathe. If I'm wrong, I would like to see your comment on the comment section below. I just find it very interesting, like, yeah, we pay for water, even though we're surrounded by water, right? We are surrounded by water, but we still have to pay for it. So my next one on the list is, if you've got children or even if you're a single person, you have to do shopping for clothing, depending on how much affordability you have. So, you know, with clothing, you might be spending about 100 to 200 pounds. If you're a family of 5, it depends on how much you have as a take-home pay. So by the time we had another 300 pounds, so we have a rent between 400 to 600 or a mortgage. Then we've got home insurance between like 50 to 70 pounds. Then food bill, if you're doing a weekly, between 40 pounds to, depending on the size of your family, so 40 pounds to about maybe like 80 pounds. Again, it depends on the size of your family. Some people could go up to 300 or 400 pounds. Then we're talking about council tax between 120 pounds. Again, it depends on the kind of a band you are. That is what your council will allocate to you. Then I said water bill as well. You could be paying up to 40 to 50 pounds. Again, it depends on how much water you're using. So usually when like you set up your water bills and everything, they'll ask you, how often do you wash? How often do you take your bath? I'm like, oh my God, is it this deep? Is it that deep? Because they're expecting you to pay for it, right? Yes, you're going to be paying for it. That is the reason why they're asking you all these valuable questions. And if you're that one person, you talk too much, you don't know when you stop. Don't worry, by the time they send the bill to you, you'll be laughing. And then I said clothing. Obviously, you have to buy clothes depending on the size of the family, whether you're single or whether you have family. You need some clothing. And then what else do you pay for? If you've got a landline or if you've got a mobile, you're either gonna, myself, I don't have a mobile, but I have internet in the house, which I'm paying between roughly 25 to 40 pounds. And I also have internet on my phone because obviously when I'm out, I need access to internet. And because UK is so big, you don't know everywhere. You have to use your Google Map in some places that you go because, like I said, and so sometimes I need internet on my phone. So, yep. So you gotta pay a phone bill, and like I said, your phone bill depends on the kind of company you're with. And I think the phone bill sometimes varies. Some come as a package and some come by itself. So you're paying clothing, and then if you have TV in your house and if you don't want to get prosecuted, you need a TV license. Yes, you need TV license for owning a TV. You have to pay TV license. Now, when I tell you things are not free here, you're beginning to get my point, right? You pay your TV license, and I think that is taken at least every 3 to 4 months, so you don't have to pay that monthly. Again, I have, you know, you can set up a direct debit where they come into your account and they just take the money out. And if you're one of those persons that you don't want to pay for it, nobody's going to ask you not to pay for it. But if you get caught, then you're going to go to jail for not having a TV license. I know, I have a TV and I gotta pay a TV license. That sounds ridiculous. Shouldn't it be free? Shouldn't people protest for some of these things, like, you know? Yeah. And then what is the next thing on my bill? If you're driving, so there are many things involved with driving. You have to fuel your car. You have to put your MOT, right? And you have to pay for tax. So if you have a car, like I said, there are 3 things you have to do. MOT, which is your road tax. Then you have to pay for your insurance and your fuel consumption, depending on from point A you're driving to point B. How often do you drive? You know, so, and if you're not driving, then you're either taking the bus, and how much do you pay, or you're getting on the train or the buses, so how much cost. So by the time you're adding, are you adding all this? Do you have a calculator with you? Are you already adding them? So with driving, I know some insurance costs from 40 pounds to over 100 pounds, over to 200 pounds, depending on the kind of insurance you are with. And then on top of that, you have a direct debit you have to pay for you do your MOT once a year. And some people, I think they have there for like 5 years. If you have a brand new car, I think they have a certain amount of period on it that you know, you don't have to pay for it. But if your car is a second hand, like mine, you pay for MOT just to make sure your car is safe to put on the road. If you don't have it and the police stop you, you're in a big trouble, and it's going to go on your record. Basically, everything goes on your record here. So it's not like Nigeria, where I say, let me give you small change, that's it. That is it. So here, you pay for everything. So like I said, you pay for your fuel, you pay for your car tax, you pay for your MOT, which is yearly or monthly. And then you pay for your car insurance, which I've said. And then again, it's cheaper. You might consider that it might be cheaper to take a public transportation. But if you're a family person like myself, I can't remember the last time I went on the bus, but because I feel like driving is a lot easier for me in comparison to taking the public transportation. Sometimes I do take the train, and sometimes I have, but the bus, I cannot recall the last time I was on the bus because I drive, and I feel like it's a lot easier for me because I have children and it's cold as well. So you have to consider which one is beneficial to you. So the next one, if I'm missing anything, kindly let me know on the comment section below. I'm going to be looking forward to your lovely comments and how you're laughing your head out with all these things we are paying for in the UK, right? So what else? Kids' clothes. If you've got children like myself, you have to buy them clothing. Is it every 4 months or every 8 months? How often do you like to change your children's clothes? Depend on you. And also, here in the UK, they have what they call free school meal, depending on your income. It's done by your income. Everything is done by your income here. So if you're on the low income of, is it 7,000, between 7,000 pounds a year, then you get free school meals. And if you're over, then you might need to get your children to be bringing packed lunch to school. So that is that. And what else? Entertainment for your kids. If you're like me, that you have Netflix, Netflix, Prime Video, Apple, everything on your laptop or on your TV, it comes with charges as well, which you're gonna have to pay for. So like I said, it's not free, and it, you know, some of it, like I think Netflix used to be £7. I think I'm wrong, or maybe between £7 and £10 if it's changed. And also Prime Video as well is there. If you're somebody who are into movies, you're going to pay for all these things. And at the end of the day, you're like, if my take-home pay is 2,100 a month after tax or before, yeah, how much do I have left? You should be querying yourself. Yes, not me, because we're doing this together, right? So what else do you pay for? If you've got TV entertainment, like I said, like Sky, Amazon Prime, Netflix and all that, it has to be included in your bill because you're going to be paying for it. And the whole family, if you're, in terms of how often do you make your children's hair as well, are you like myself that I try to cut down on cost? Like I make my children's hair, I make my hair as well as often as I can. So I save quite a lot of bit as well from going to the hairdresser. But if you have to go to hairdresser, maybe like my son now, he has to cut his hair at the barber. So I used to do it for him when he was young, but now he's a little bit grown, so the looks is probably gonna give me if I want to cut his hair because I want to save in it. So if you, for hair maintenance as well, you have to add that to it. Can you tell me now, how much have you calculated? You know, I think haircut is between £6 to £8. It depends on the barber and depends on your area as well. And the last but not least is the tax paid on every single item you buy. So once you go into the shop and like, I want to buy something to eat and put in my mouth because I'm hungry, then the moment it goes through the scan, there's a tax included already. If you bring your car to the mechanic as well, if it's faulty, you pay tax on that as well. Nothing is free, unlike Nigeria. My car, you just bring it to the mechanic. Where are you paying tax? We're supposed to be paying all this thing. That is how the country can get better, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe so. So these are all the things you pay for, and please, how much savings will you have left by the time you pay for all these things? This is why you have to be extremely careful with the kind of things you need to prioritize, which are important. But there are some that are mandatory in the list that I have given you guys today. It is mandatory for you to pay them, and there's no any other way back to it. It has to be paid whether you like it or not. So kindly let me know what you think about things you paid for that people don't tell you when you're in Nigeria, or maybe you're abroad, or you're relocating from abroad to the UK. Is there anything I've left out as part of the list? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. I really do hope you guys have enjoyed today's video on the things you pay for while living in the UK. If you're also moving from France, Italy, are there any different in comparison to the things I've mentioned here? Let us know in the comment section below to let us know what is different. You know, if you also do get child benefits for children as well here, but it's not really that much as well. And if you're earning over 50,000 or 60,000 pounds, then there is a tax on that as well that goes under child tax. All these things you can also research, disclaimer, research as well on yourself. Kindly let me know if you've enjoyed today's video on the things you paid for in the UK and what how much would you have left? Like, seriously, after paying for all these things? Like I said, the only thing you didn't pay for in the UK is the air you breathe. So kind of give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Also like the video, thumbs up, comment the video, subscribe to the channel. By subscribe to my channel, it sort of like boosts me. It makes me more happy in my spirit, so, and it motivates me to continue publishing more videos for you lot. And I will see you guys in my next video. Take care and keep watching. Bye bye.